The bank and I wanted my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I wanted, they gon' call the feds. I just bought a cost an arm and leg. My mama coming, I swear. Yeah. Born in the ghetto, I never had nothing to fear. Take it how you want it. I ain't famous like I want it, so I might just throw a hissy fit. Call up Cassie after she broke up with Diddy, yeah. I told Shorty, if she talking, and she gon' call her friends up and we did, whoa. I ain't in the talking, go chop off your lips. If I ain't in your top 10, go top 4 for bridge. My black boys, I boys that knock off your lid. I doubt you're gon' pop off, so hop off my. What you mean? I said, what you mean? Listen, I don't trust her, so, no, I said, what you mean? Whoa, I said, what you mean? You thought I was finished, you thought it was over. You thought I retired, you thought I went fishing with Kobe. I'm still as ill as considered as one of the coldest. Still a put a partner rapper here like Moses. I'm throwback like a molar roller. I'm cooler than a cup of yogurt. Black flag boy, truck soldier. I'm cool with laws and Ayatollahs. Rap gods like Cyclops and Ogre. I'm King Kong, ain't nobody told you. You think Rome still.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Colts going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down, Brissett. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Sack. Quarterback gets hit.
Now the first carry here for Frank Gore. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down. Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Another 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Second down following the run. Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Seahawk first down. Wilson to his big target, Graham.
Jimmy Graham had a really tough injury in 2015 that ended his season, but what a bounce back in 2016. How did he not get any votes for comeback player of the year?
I was just going to ask you that. Not that Jordy Nelson wasn't deserving, but 65 catches, 923 yards. That was the highest total by a tight end in Seahawk history.
And I think there's a chance that both of those numbers will increase in 2017.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
When you look back at the 2016 season on defense for the Indianapolis Colts, when you look at the raw numbers, you're not impressed. 30th overall in total defense. So what they're trying to improve upon is playmakers. They've got to have some guys who can offset those types of numbers with making big plays and taking the ball away from the opposition.
On second down, Johnson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And he's got Lockett. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They go to Johnson again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. The big man. Get the oxygen tank ready. The 40. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And how about the big boys showing off the wheels?
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and the rumbling, you can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
We always look for breakout seasons, and Jack Doyle had one in 2016. 59 catches. What? He didn't even have that in the previous 3 seasons.
No, previous 3, 35 combined. But he was stuck behind Kobe Fleener for a while. He went to New Orleans, really opened things up, didn't he?
Yeah, Dwayne Allen's been shipped off to New England, so Jack Doyle, truly tight end 1.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Play fake. Here's Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
They had a good chance getting the first points of the game on the board, but what a great job defensively, getting a hand in there, knocking it away, and preventing that first touchdown.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
After the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. On second down, here's Wilson. Screen play, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. 10 more there and another first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Throw left side complete. It's Graham. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here we go with Lacey. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Big Eddie Lacy denied on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it. But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A second down throw for Brissett. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Set to throw on first. They go with a screen to Gore. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. The clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. First and 10, Brissett. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Led the NFL with 1,448 yards in 2016. The first Colt to do so since Reggie Wayne in 2007. How about this guy? He's been something.
Yeah, 4 straight years now over 1,000 and 3 straight Pro Bowls for T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, what I love about him, inside, outside, he can work it all.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Jack Doyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing, Brissett, and that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Kamar Aiken in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And a great spot to start this drive from here. The third quarter starts with a run by Gore. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st and goal, Gore. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Frank Gore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
Could not have blocked that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
And the lead is now 24. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. It's the rookie out of Florida, Quincy Wilson. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Time to establish the run game. It's Gore. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
Here we go.
To throw is Brissett. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in an in 5. He'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the change.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Henry Anderson in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, it's Gore. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
A 1st down throw for Brissett. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Brissett on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And some room to roam now. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Jonathan Hankins in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Jabal Sheard. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Brissett sets to throw it. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jonathan Bostic in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
36 power. 19. Tighten up.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here, because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. One last shot for Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Indianapolis, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile...